Our first website design portfolio is from Valentine, who uses a high-class hero image and text to create this professional-looking design. It has these beautiful animations as you go from section to section, and when you make it to the very bottom of the page, you seamlessly transition back to the very top to the hero section. This video has some really cool-looking portfolios, and I've saved some of the best ones until last. The next website portfolio I really liked was DAO for Design. This one uses vibrant colors together with gradients and silhouettes that overlay on the hero text to create this stunning looking hero section. As I scroll through, I see these full screen case studies with videos playing in the background that use basically no text but instead just visuals to show rather than tell. When I select a different page on the website, it does a slide in transition that allows me to feel like I'm never actually leaving the website itself or clicking through different pages, but just sort of navigating through what looks like a PowerPoint. This next design is for A-Rock, a music artist that has created this portfolio, which again looks very similar to our last one but has a stunning design and aesthetic. This is a minimalistic design. Its menu has this cool transition and effect on the image. On the right hand side, the menu options as well have a little bit of a micro animation as well as a transition when you select to view a page. I also like that this website has reimagined the traditional portfolio, so rather than having a page like blogs on news, there's stories or projects, which gives you a timeline as well as these large clickable images that let you follow along with the journey of this creator. You'll see the minimalistic design here, where there's really just a focus on the large images and the text which come in small chunks, allowing you to really get a grasp of what's going on these pages rather than being overstimulated with 3D objects or other UI elements. This next website portfolio has won multiple international awards. It's from Stash Bondar, and it's a portfolio design that uses both macro and micro animations on scroll and on mouse movement to create these engaging elements that are both 3D, colorful, and have these beautiful transitions as you go from section to section. It's one of the most unique looking websites, borrowing from things like Gen Z design, where they place elements all over the page, not adhering to a specific grid structure. Two things I really like about this portfolio is that their case studies delve really deep into how they create their websites. And secondly is that their animations don't just stop at their homepage. They've made sure that every page, including these case studies, are interactive and showcase a lot of information through visual means. This next portfolio website has 3D elements and interactions. It's called Design is Funny. It's minimalistic, with these elements which are clickable. As I scroll down through the design, I get to learn a little bit more about the creator, who is called Daniel from Rome. He's currently working in London and working with Spotify. It's a really simple and short sentence about him, and yet it showcases just how talented he is, and it's immediately followed up with these case studies and a hover image that follows the mouse cursor, which looks really dynamic and allows you to view more about the projects he's done. If I want to learn more about them, I can click through and it expands out that project into its own page and has a small case study about it. And Daniel's worked on some really cool stuff, showcasing things like working with Headspace for a meditation app, as well as in the Web3 space, especially with Bored Apes, which was pretty popular at the time. You might be wondering, how do you create web designs that look this good, with animations and transitions and elements all over the page? I use this no-code platform called Wix Studio that allows me to create website designs very similar to how I create in Figma. And it has all these animations and interaction tools built straight in. Let me show you. It only takes a few seconds to create a brand new site from either a pre-made template or just from a blank canvas. Here's an example I had earlier. I want to create a new section here with a 3-column design and 3 images, which I'm simply going to drag and drop onto the canvas and select with ones that I've already uploaded. Now I want to recreate that Gen Z design where I have different types of text blocks kind of floating all over the space. To do this here, I'm just going to select a 2-column design, and this time instead of images, I'm going to drag and drop some titles and paragraphs onto these columns. I can group this into a stack and then simply move it into the positions and dock it into the spots I want. This is the benefit of using a no-code builder, whereas normally if I was doing this in HTML code and writing up all the CSS, well, that could be a nightmare. Finally, using the right-hand side inspector, I can try out different animations and interactions when you enter the scene or even when you hover your mouse over these text elements. Now to take a look at this Gen Z style portfolio website, which is by Yannick from the Netherlands, and he's put together this ASCII style website with a lot of floating elements, transitions, and while the website looks black and white, it has a lot of expression from his developer and design roots. The expression in this portfolio definitely makes this person feel like someone who's a little bit younger, but also is more of a coder or programmer. This is why keywords like front-end, API interaction, as well as motion design are all included as keywords in his design. While this sort of web design is more trendy these days as a new aesthetic, for me it always feels a little bit overwhelming, like there's a little bit too much happening on the page. This next portfolio example is one of minimalism and large typography, and it's from Isabella from Canada. She's worked with companies such as Google, Amazon, Toyota, and won multiple awards in web design. However, she just casually mentions this when you read through her work, case studies, and examples. It's not like she makes a big fuss because this is the level that she works at. Her website is an example of how you don't always need to overwhelm people with lots of information. Sometimes you can subtly present it in small blocks like she does here. On the work page, she has a little bit more information about each one of the projects she's worked in. And if you select any one of them, like this one here from Toyota, you actually get a carousel of all the different types of artwork and designs she's put together in this sort of sliding manner that you can scroll through and view. This next portfolio is from another UI UX designer that is also one that has award-winning sites in his example work. Let's take a look. His design here mixes a lot of large typography with animation and positioning all over the place, but with some grid structure as well. There are some images here that glitch as you mouse over, as well as text elements that have some parallax scroll as you scroll through with some animation and motion blur, and I admire the way that he's been able to use just simple text and color to create this sort of animation that feels like I'm looking through some glass. The page transition also uses this block of red that slides through and also looks a bit glassy. The portfolio of work also has a number of hover effects with animations to preview the work in action, and no matter where I hover or click, there's lots of little micro actions happening all over the site that keep me engaged and making this feel like a unique experience. Even if I click on this inconspicuous little block at the top of the page, it shows me the grid layout for the rows and columns for the site itself and how the design actually adheres to them. This next website portfolio is a little bit different and bizarre compared to the other ones I've seen, since it doesn't feel at all like a website and more like I'm browsing a television screen. The design is by Hardik. He's a designer with digital experience to create these sorts of lucid dream concept art that brings it to life on a digital canvas. And I think his design truly showcases how a portfolio should be a representation of the person themselves and the kind of work that they do. Now, I've saved the best till last. This design here is from Bruno Simon, and he always comes in as one of the best portfolio designs every year. This year, he's updated his 3D website design for his portfolio with this interactive driving simulator that allows you to drive through his world and experience what it's like viewing different parts of the work he's created in this 3D environment. There's even a dark mode version of his website, which simply turns it to nighttime, and I think that's a really cool way to view it. While this sort of website portfolio almost feels closer to a game than a website, this is definitely a level you can reach if you stretch your developer skills. If you enjoyed this video, definitely leave a like, and if you've got your own portfolio you want to share and maybe I can feature in the next video, then definitely leave it in the comments.